Now you. All right? And it is that passion, it's that excitement, it's passion, dedication, passionate dedication to a cause, duty, or belief. 1, 2, eyes on the screen.
1, 2, eyes on the screen.
Look at that church. In that picture, look at that church. Look at that. That is at the top of a mountain, and it is massive. Okay? It is massive. That church was certainly built by skilled hands, but the builders of that church, and especially the people who had the original vision of it, they had to have a lot of zeal to make that church happen. All right? Because it's clear at the top of the mountain, not the easiest place to build a church. All right? The size of it, it's not like they're building some little itty bitty thing. Right? That kind of dedication is going to take a lot of zeal. 1, 2, now you.
Zeal.
All right? Zeal is something that's planted in our hearts that inspires us to action. Okay? And whether we're talking about, holy things, or we're talking about things like sports, or we're talking about academics, or things like that, like it drives us. Okay? It drives us. And it causes positive change. And then the other thing is, you guys, is that it also inspires others. Because others see your zeal for your thing, okay? And they want to be a part of it too, okay? Now, certainly, there's all kinds of examples that we can do it. It's almost like 1, 2, eyes on the screen.
1, 2, eyes on the screen.
It's almost like our hearts are on fire for the thing, okay? And you've got a ton of examples of this, all right? Just here, right here in this room, your teachers. Your teachers have a lot of zeal for this. Your teachers are excellent teachers, okay? Excellent teachers. I've been in education for going on just about 25 years, okay? Your teachers, your staff members are amazing. You guys are jackpot lucky to have them. Jackpot lucky, okay? And part of it is, like, they have this zeal for what they're doing. For their academics, for kids, for the Lord. Like, they have this zeal for what they're doing. They could go anywhere. They could be doing anything. They could be teaching anywhere. They're choosing here for you guys. Okay? The capital campaign. So we've got a capital campaign going on right now. Setting to add a new gym, 10 classes to the school, transforming this space a little bit, moving some office space around. Okay? That is a huge lift. We're looking for somewhere like $9 to $10 million. Okay, big project. We have some co-chairs, Mr. Dirkholz and Mr. Davis. They have poured 3 years of their life into this thing. Okay, because they believe in it. They have a zeal for what we're doing. Okay, you guys, I can hear your zeal. All right, when we're in Mass, I hear you guys singing out incredibly well, all right? I think it's like, is it Ye Watchers and Ye Holy Ones? Okay? There are some hymns that I can hear you guys sing, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I can hear your zeal. And other people are inspired by that. We've got all kinds of people that come to our Masses on Tuesdays and Thursdays because they are inspired by you. They're inspired by your worship. They're inspired by your singing. All right? It is that zeal. All right? There are some of you in this room that have had straight A's. And we've actually had scholars in the past. They've had straight A's their entire time here at Sacred Heart. All right? That is in your heart. That is zeal. Okay? All of the early Christian martyrs, the saints, I tell you guys about the saints all the time. There's one thing in common. They have a lot of zeal for what they're doing. Okay? I think specifically about John the Baptist. John the Baptist was full of zeal for what he was doing, okay? He was going out and very boldly proclaiming the news about Jesus, okay? St. Peter, same way, a lot of zeal. And also, I would say when Saul, before he was St. Paul, Saul was very zealous. Now, one thing is, in the beginning, he was not zealous for the right things. right? He was very zealous in the first place about capturing Christians and throwing them in jail. So that was his zeal that was not oriented the right way, all right? But then he had his conversion, and he used that same zeal for the Lord, all right? So you've got tons of examples of that zeal, all right? I want to skip, let's see, Virtue Cup, we're going to get to that, okay? But I want to go ahead and get to our saint of the day, all right? I want to get to our saint of the day. Another saint with great zeal, Saint Mark, the gospel writer, okay? His feast day was Saturday. Just this past Saturday was his feast day. He had great zeal. So, according to like church tradition, he and his mom's house was actually, that is where they held the Last Supper. All right? So donated their house, like kind of used it for the mission. Okay? A lot of zeal with that. He was also, it's kind of, there are some Christian scholars that think that he might have been the one that escaped from the Garden of Gethsemane when they came to arrest Jesus. There's one young man who ran off, all right? And they're thinking that he might have been him, all right? He was also a follower of and traveled with Peter to Rome. And he was one of the 70 that was sent on a mission by Christ. So he had to go journey to these far-off lands and with great zeal talk about Jesus, okay? He established a church in Alexandria, became a bishop there. He actually founded the first Christian school there as well. And he eventually was martyred for this. Okay, he was eventually killed for his faith. All right, looking at his gospel. I also want to talk about it because he is a gospel writer. So his gospel was actually the first, and it was written in about in the year 70. Okay, it was intended for non-Jews, and it was actually written, they're thinking, from Peter's eyewitness account of Jesus' life. So St. Mark talked to Peter, and Peter then informed the Gospels what they're thinking. He is depicted by a lion. 1, 2, eyes on the screen.
1, 2, eyes on the screen.
You can see that in that picture there, that icon there, he is writing his Gospel, and then you can see the lion there with him as well. So he's depicted by a lion because his Gospel actually starts with John the Baptist being the voice crying out in the wilderness to prepare the way for the Lord. Okay? And the lion is actually known as the Lord of the desert. Okay? So he is depicted by a lion when we say St. Mark. Okay? So, super great saint, a lot of zeal, and where else would I go to ask for St. Mark's intercession, especially for his zeal? Like, we ask St. Mark, like just that zeal and everything like that. When I think about Mark, I also think about zeal as well. All right? So, you ready for this?
St. Mark,
Pray for us and have a great day, scholars! Yo, thank you. Go about your day with great zeal.